Hello everyone, it's Birdie here, the recycled hippie chick. Hey, I have been hanging out in the house today and I was watching Caroline on the hillside, in which I will link down in the basement. She was doing these cute little tag pockets out of an envelope, and I just had to come out and join her. So I came out and made one, and then decided that I would like to do a video and have you guys join me on making another one. I think I want to make 5 or 6. This one's for my cowboy journal, and then I want to make some for, other journals down the line. So I'm going to show it to you first. This is the front, and I put this lace on it so that I could get into it. I just put a little picture of trail riders. And actually, Caroline showed me how to make this a while back, and I made some with her. It's just sewing fabric onto a piece of paper, and I Mod Podged it to just give it a little bit of stiffener so that I could use it in different ways, and I used it in this project. I put it on, cut out a piece and put it on the back of this tag. That goes in here. Then you open it up, and I have a picture of my dad. I made a tag. She showed you how to make a tag and then put it on the inside of the envelope. Oh my gosh, I just ate lunch and I'm probably gonna have the hiccups. This is a picture of my dad, and I wrote over here so my kids would know. This is Charlie Long in 1951. He worked at Uppinghouse Stables in Payson, Illinois, training horses. This one sold for $6,000. That was huge in the 50s. My dad was drafted into the Korean War while working here and had to leave. It was the scariest day for him. I want to say this was, yeah, I did, 1951. Okay. And then I have a tag on the back side. And this is my Grandpa Charles. And he always rolled his pant legs up. And oh my gosh, who sent me this material? I'm so sorry. Somebody sent this material to me, Happy Mail, and it was so cute. It reminded me of my Grandpa Charles. So I put that on as a tab. I said this is 1968, Charles William Long on his horse. I cannot remember his name. I've got a message to my cousin. She will know. In Payson, Illinois. This is my grandpa. I called him Charlie Bill. He called me Johnny Bill. He was my dad's father. I loved how he always kept his blue jeans up at the leg. So I just put that little memory on there of him. So on the back, I put another piece of that material sewn on paper that I did with Caroline in her video. So there will be a video for this if you want to look back for it, and a video for this today. So let's make one. Shall we? She just took well, there we go. She took an envelope, okay, and glued the envelope shut. Now make sure you only glue the flap shut, because if you get down in here, that'll affect your getting into your pocket. Then she folded it over so it would be staggered, and ripped the edges off so we could get into the pocket. I'm actually thinking about wetting this. I think it would rip easier. I accidentally went ahead and inked the last one before I ripped it, and I had put wet paintbrush on there and it tore much easier. So you find a way to rip your envelope open that's easy for you. I am doing it the hard way on this video. Now remember, I'm a grungy girl, so I don't like anything straight or even, or so if you are a tidy girl or a guy, then you do it how you enjoy doing it. This is just inspiration. And as I was doing mine with Caroline, she said it would be neat to see other people's so that we could see, you know, how different we do them. And I'm like, oh, Caroline, that is inspiration for me to do a video. So I decided I would do a video making it so we could see how the inspiration was. Whoops. Okay, I just dipped that in my coffee. I was going to get that wet just to smear that around, and dipped it in my coffee mixture, not my drinking coffee. So we're just going to use coffee mixture on this one. I'm just grunging it up on both sides. Just running my ink pad over it. My water, my grungy paint water over here has, I had used my sparkly gold watercolor and rinsed my paintbrush out in it, and so it has little flakes of goodness in it. So I used it on my other one accidentally, and it left the little sparklies. So I want to do that on this one too, because the sparklies were cute. And I don't know if we're going to put something clear across this to cover it up or not. You never know. So I'm just inking it all over. Okay, now, she gave me this great idea. You know, I don't think outside of the box. I look for something that's already printed to use as a background, and she said, make your own background. So I took this coffee stained piece of paper and I just did some stamping on it just to make my own background, and it's adorable. So I'm going to do that for this one also. Let's see here. Where's my... I don't want the straight part, so I'm going to cut over here. Well, I got to remember this pocket. This pocket is shorter, so... What am I doing? That is too much. Let's see if we can turn it over here. Make it this side. There we go. There we go. Okay. I am going to distress the edges. And we'll glue that on. Should I keep telling you what I'm doing, or just let you watch me and tell my stories? I've got so much to tell you. Oh my gosh, I was going to do a walkthrough at the beginning of this. I'll do it at the end. Coralie from Magic by the Ocean, I'll link her down in the basement. She sent me Happy Mail, and I was going to open it and show you. I don't know what's in there. And I got it quite some time ago, but I have not made a video, and I wanted to share it on video, so I haven't not seen it yet. So I'm excited to open that. So we'll do that at the end. And I also, those of you who follow me on Pinterest, probably seen my dyeing that I had hanging out on the clothesline. I was going to show you guys those too. Let's see here. I want a cute stamp at the bottom of this. I put the bicycle on this one. So I wanted to put something different on this one, so we'll put an acorn on this one. Oh, and I used brown. Oops. I meant to use black, but that's okay. We'll have a brown acorn on this one. And I also wanted to slightly go over this. Do I want to use green again? Yeah, go ahead and use green again. I don't know. I just wanted to put just a tad bit of color in it. Okay, now, I put a little piece of lace here. You could use your little circle punch and punch here so you could go in. Mine is too wet right now to do that, so I put that on there so that I could separate it. I think I'm going to do that again. So let me go find something. Well, let's just see if we have something in here we can put on it. Let's just see what we got. Let's put that on there. That way it gives me something to grab and pull up to find my pocket. I'm going to scrunch this on here. I'm going to try to fit this whole thing on here. What can I use here? I've had some tragedy here in the past week, so I thought I would tell you guys about that. Last week I was mowing. And you know, I have all my turtles in my yard, and you know that I mark them on their back with a white paint marker. So, number one, so I can record who it is that I saw and put a date. It's just a hobby thing that I do. I put a date in my little turtle book, and I record it with a picture so I have clear markings of their shell, and I freshen up their number every time I see them, and I give them some night crawlers, and I leave them right where I find them and let them go on their way. Well, I started seeing turtles, and so I was mowing the yard, and I was very careful to watch for shells in the yard because they're everywhere. Okay, let's start on our tag on the inside. So I got the entire tag mowed, the entire yard mowed, and saw Jerome in the back pasture going under the fence to the neighbor's property, so I knew he was safe. And I got out to the pasture and I just lost my mind. I just all of a sudden decided, I'm trying to find something to make a tag out of. Let me find something. Something stiff. Okay. I was out by the burn pile, and we are not allowed to burn here in Kansas for the month of April because it's prairie burning. Farmers burn off their prairies and fields so that, you know, everything comes up nice and green and beautiful for ranch cows and stuff. And so nobody else is allowed to burn because they have their hands full monitoring, you know, the farmers. So my burn pile had sat out there collecting debris that I'd been cleaning up in the yard for the whole month of April. And it was getting yucky. It was like some weeds were growing really close to the, you know, into the wood, the burnable part. And I thought, well, I'm going to scooch way into that burn pile, and I'm going to cut that grass, the tall weeds that are growing there at the burn pile. And I just pulled my mower in and made one swipe around, and bam, I was done. Let's go park the mower. Well, the next day, I went out to put some stuff on the burn pile, and there laying in that area that I had just mowed was my number 8. I don't know if any of you remember my number 8. I've put little clips of her going into her little hole off the back of our patio. She would come up out of her hole in the ground every morning at 6:30 and come to the back door and wait for her worm. And then she would go about her way. She'd go around the house and into the front yard and do her thing all day. Then she'd go back around about 6:30 at night, wait at the door for another worm, and then back down her hole. So I didn't know that it was number 8. I just knew I had mowed the top off of a turtle, and the only thing was left was that one row of scales on the shell at the bottom. So I brought her over to the rock garden, and I sat with my phone, and I went back through all of my past years of turtles and looked at pictures that I could identify the markings on that bottom row of shell. And sure enough, it was number 8. My favorite one. My husband and I both, she was both of our favorites. And I know this is probably gory, but you know, whacking the top part of her shell off, you could see that she had 3 eggs that she was fixing to lay. And it could have been why she was out there in the burn pile. I don't know. She could have saw me mowing and gone over there for cover. You know, who knows? I don't know. So that was a tragedy. So we put her back down in her hole where she's always lived. And we covered the hole in. And that will be her, that'll be her space. We've only done that one time before. My husband ran over our first baby and chopped the top of her shell off. But he caught it, and she was alive, and I doctored her. I cleaned it off with peroxide. Hers was just a little bit of the shell. And I put Neosporin on it and put a big gauze bandage over the top. And every week, as I saw her, I would take that bandage off, clean it again, and redress it. And actually, after about 3 weeks, I was seeing good progress with healing. Well, I didn't see her again for several weeks, and I was worried about her. I kept telling my husband, have you seen the baby? Have you seen the baby? Well, I was pulling weeds in the front flower bed one day and saw her. She had fallen over the rock ledge of the flower bed and got tipped upside down, and since her top was flat, you know, from being injured, she couldn't get tipped back over. So, yeah, another tragedy there. That was a couple years ago with yeah. Anyway, so we have lost 2 from mowing accidents. Anyway, that's the end of that story. And then, I don't know if I've told you guys. I'm sure I did, because I tell you everything. Last year, about April, I was helping my husband pull up T-posts in the pasture after we got rid of the goats. Do you guys remember that? And the chain, or the T-post snapped and hit me in the head. And I had gotten a slight concussion from that. Well, I had started getting lightheaded after that, and the doctor said it was most likely from, you know, having the concussion, that it would go away in 4 to 6 months. Well, it didn't go away in 4 to 6 months. It just slowly, progressively got a little worse. Well, I asked, then I went on an antidepressant, and it seemed to get even worse yet. So I asked my doctor, then, you know, at first it was like 2 or 3 times a week I would get lightheaded. Or if I climbed up on a ladder, or, you know, bent over and stood back up quickly, or when I got in bed at night. Well, then once I started the antidepressant, it was every day, all day long. I was lightheaded. Not dizzy, just lightheaded. And so I told my doctor, and she said, oh, it's probably this antidepressant. Let's start weaning you off and put you on another one. So I started weaning off of it, and I mean, I completely weaned off of it. And after I had been off of it for 2 or 3 days, I went to bed one night and full on room spinning dizzy, and then I knew exactly what it was. I have that BPPV, and it's like when you lay down or stand up or with some postural movement, you get full on room spinning for about 15 seconds and then it goes away. Well, I got it when I laid down and went to bed, so I knew my BPPV was back, and that's probably what it was the entire time, was just that crystal in your ear was slowly coming out, and it affects your equilibrium. First time I went to the ear, nose, and throat, and they did the Epley maneuver on me, and I walked out of there fine. So they taught me how to do the Epley maneuver myself, so that if it ever happens again, I could take care of it myself. Well, lo and behold, my daughter gets it. She then started getting it bad enough that she would vomit. I mean, it was bad. And she couldn't stop vomiting long enough to do the maneuver, so she had to get anti-nausea shot so that it would calm her down enough so that she could lay down and do the maneuver. And they said it's hereditary. And then I start thinking, you know, my dad was dizzy all the time but just lived with it. And I just wonder if he had it and we didn't know what it was. So, I had the BPPV again. So, that morning when I woke up, I did the Epley maneuver. That was, I don't know when. I did the Epley maneuver, and it took it away, right away. And I felt wonderful all day long. And the next day, I felt wonderful. I'm going to sew this on real quick, and I'll be right back. So day 2, I decided to cut Cooper's hair, my dog. And, you know, you kind of have to stand on your head to get to, you know, cut their hair and such. And I did. I got every which way but loose cutting his hair. And as soon as I was done, I felt it. That I should not have done that. That it was coming back. I loosened that crystal again. And my daughter said, Mom, you know you're supposed to stay upright for 48 hours after you do the maneuver. Remember, you're even supposed to sleep in your recliner. And I'm like, I forgot about that. So yeah, I messed it up. So last night I went to bed knowing that today I was going to do the maneuver again when I woke up. And when I laid down, the world spinned, and then I had eventually turned over and laid on my left side because it's only in my right ear. And on my left side it spun too. So I'm not sure I don't have a stinking crystal out on both sides. So I got to figure out, I've got to do some research. I'm staying up for the next 2 days, you know, in the recliner. I'm not going to sleep in the bed. And I've got to do some research to see what do I do if I have it in both ears? How do I do the other maneuver without knocking the right one back out? You know, I'm not quite sure how to do all that. So, yeah, I haven't felt too whoopee. But it hasn't slowed me down, obviously. So, this morning I got up early and I got everything done. I threw laundry in. I got everything done that I thought would require me bending, moving, you know, squatting down with my... I needed to stay upright. So I got everything done and I am staying upright for 48 hours. I'm not going to mess this up. I'm feeling okay, but of course you don't really know till you lay down or do something, and I haven't really done anything. Okay, now what? Now we need to do, I'm going to do a little journaling space in there, and I'm going to use, I saw a notepad paper. Here it is. I'm going to use this notepad paper over here for a journaling spot. See how tall we need it. Oh, just almost the full piece. I hope everybody has been safe from storms. We've had the worst spring with tornado season. Bless Oklahoma and Texas. You know, I've already talked about that. Did I sew around that? No. You could certainly sew around that, in which I think I will. Okay, I was just walking by my table and saw this cute little frog. He needs to go somewhere. Where? But I can't stand this white. There we go. Oh, wow. You know what? I wonder if my husband, he just said last night, the Indy 500's on tomorrow. I'm like, oh boy, I've been counting the hours. Not. I wonder if he has forgotten about that already. Okay, let's see. Let's use, I'm going to use my glue stick, because sometimes when I use my tacky glue, it leaves those little ridges, and then when you try to write, sometimes you have to fight with the ridges. So I'm going to use my glue stick to put on my writing. Now my other one, I went ahead and wrote first and then glued it on, and it didn't matter. But this one here may go with a journal for sale, so I want to make sure whoever gets it can write on a flat surface. Okay, now we've got the front done. We've got the inside cover. We've got our tag done. Let's do the back side. Let's use our Caroline collage paper again. Okay, I don't want to, was I cutting that? Yes, but I'm going to glue this over it so it'll patch it up. There we go. Okay. Perfectamundo. Now, I think what I'll do is just paper clip these inside of a page, because, you know, I don't want to glue it on the page with these cute little, the backing on it, so I'll just paper clip it in there. or slide it in a belly band or something like that. There we go. So there's the back, there's the inside, and there's the front. Now, that's kind of bothering me, but I got to get over it. Where's our frog? What did I do with the frog? Here he is. Maybe we should put the frog on here, since I messed up on the acorn. You know he's playing bluegrass. For sure. Maybe I could show part of it. Nah, just cover it up. Forget about it. There we go. I probably should have glued that. Sometimes these... Okay, let's go ahead and use this for our tag inside. Look at that. It fits perfect. Okay, so we don't have to cut that down except for one side. I have not heard back from Coralie. I wanted to get her okay before I showed her Happy Mail, and I have not heard back from her. So, do I go ahead and show it without asking her if it's okay, or do I wait and show it on another video? I'm going to be kind and wait and show it on another video. See, I'm feeling just a little off, like when I shake my upper body to sand. I'm feeling a little off, so I don't know that I got it, but I know one video said you could do it like 3 times a day, so I might go in and do it again when we're done here. Okay, let's see here. That tag had a writing space on the back and a picture on the front, so let's do a writing space on the back. That's too little. Do I have anything? Oh, look at that. This is cute. Oh, look at the birdies. That'd be a whole page in a journal right there. Then I wouldn't have to ruin the backside, would I? I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to save both of these for pages in a journal. I was going to rip them up and collage on that, but I don't think I'm going to. Let's see here. Do I have any scraps over here left over? I'm trying to use just what's on my table, but that's not going to work. So I've got to... Oh, here. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, it will work. We got these we can use. This is that calendar from I don't know who. Maybe it was the Ugly Art Girls Club. I don't know. I don't remember, but it's a couple years ago, I think. But I'm still using papers out of it, so let's see here. What could we go ahead and this on the bottom. Let's see here. I'm kind of liking that. I think I'm going to use this flower. And we'll put this one on the bottom. I like to tear the date part off or make sure it doesn't show. I'm on my last bottle of glue, so I've got 3 of those. I bought a 3-pack of these upside down ones, So I'm on my last bottle. So what I did was I got a big bottle of tacky glue at Walmart yesterday, and I'm going to just refill these. Isn't that brilliant? I know, sometimes I amaze myself. Okay. See how quick I can do something? I've been out here all morning making the other one. Pushing pause, starting it, pushing pause, starting it with Caroline. And when I get on here with you guys, I just zippity-doo-dah and put one right together. Isn't that crazy? How sometimes we just think too much, and then when we're gabbing, well, when I'm gabbing, I don't think at all, which sometimes is a bad deal when I'm in public and I'm running off of the mouth and not thinking. Yeah. Okay. Now, I want to show you guys this. I'm noticing this up here real quick. Can you guys see the goat in this piece of coffee dyed paper or eco dyed paper or whatever? Let's just go over it real quick. This goat is turning his head and looking over his shoulder. Here's his little neck. Here's his little ear. There's his eye. His little nose is coming down right here. See his little nose and his little smile and his little jaw right here. And the rest of his neck. Do you see that goat? I think his little chin needs to curl up here. He's smiling. Do you see the goat? Oh, he's so cute. Anyway, that's going in my journal somewhere. I just pulled that out the other day and went, oh my gosh, I see a goat. Okay, what were we doing? I saw a squirrel, didn't I? No, I saw a goat. Okay, this is going in here. So we need a little tab to glue on there. Let's see what we can pull out here. We need a little color since we don't have much in this. Let's pull this little guy apart and use him for our tab. I hope you guys are not bothered by that sound in the background. I have the dehydrator running, making doggy treats, and I wanted the flower on the front. We're not ready yet, are we? Dagnabbit. Okay, we gotta put a piece of writing paper on here. So, since this isn't big enough and it's here and we want to get rid of it, let's just throw a piece of paper on behind it. Part of our little, here, let's put some of this on there. I'm going to use glue stick with it because it's kind of tissue papery. I got this under my sandwich somewhere and said, yes, please, I will use that in collage. And let's just cut that off. My trash can is so full over here beside me. I need to go burn it so bad. Okay. Okay, I want to put some, let's go ahead and put this on. No. Yeah, let's go ahead and put this on. We can work around it. Okay, so we've got our tab, and I want to put some color on the back. Just, well, it doesn't matter. We're going to put this over it. You won't see it. Okay, never mind. I was worried about seeing all of that through it, but we're not going to see it because we're covering it up. I have an orange one. Let's use this one. Let's see if this has anything in it. Not really. I wonder if this is water-based. This or permanent. Let's see what it is. It's Ranger All-Purpose. Well, it's about empty anyway, so let's see if we can loosen up the juice in it with off of coffee paper. Coffee water. No, so I don't know that it's water-based. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that one's going to the trash. Okay, let's just do some red. There we go. That one's got something in it. You know what? Maybe I should not. Maybe, well, I've already gotten it wet though, so I don't know that I can clean it out. But my black one is falling apart. It's cracked down here, and when I push on it, it goes down, see? So I'm going to have to replace that. I wonder if I could take this one and fill that up with black. I may try that. I have black I can try it with. Yes, I know. I know. That's how cheap I am. You don't have to tell me. I'm aware of it. Okay, there's a writing space on the back. Okay. Tag number 1. Final tag. For somebody that might be new here, if you've made it this far, I'm doing this because that junk mail is shiny, and I'm just giving it a little bit of tooth for my glue to stick to. This is out of an old Sears Roebuck catalog. Okay, let's see here what we've got. Oh, no, I can't tear that up. It's Edith Holden. There's nothing small enough that I can tear off. Okay, maybe I can tear off this. Okay, maybe I can tear this off, but it needs to have something to go behind it. Because it's blending in too much with that off-white advertisement. I'm not sure he's going to fit. Her, it said it was a hen, so. It's taken us almost an hour to make a little flippy thing. Geez, and Caroline could do it in 30 minutes. Okay, I didn't like the duck there, so I think what I'm going to do is put this little delivery boy here. I think. And I like that number, so I think we'll put that number, well, on something else, because this has already got numbers on it. So I think I'm just going to glue him on here, and I need one more little strip. So I also want to, or I could leave that red strip. Yes, that's what I'll do. I'll leave that red strip, and I will go around this in red. Okay. Now, all right. That'll do. That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Now, we'll just get that inked up. And we need a little tab. There's a piece of material right here. Let's just use this. Now, I'm not even going to make it any skinnier. I'm just going to use it how it is, because I'm trying to use stuff up. And when I tear something down, it's making more. I'm still having stuff to use up. So, this is, darn it, you guys. We don't have our little writing space on here. Again, let's just take this. It'll be perfect. Okay, take this page that we cut the duck out of. Let's make sure the number's on there, because the number's cute. Page 5. That'll rub down nicely. we can put our little tab on there. And use the other side to write on. There we go. I may go over that zip, zip, zip with my sewing machine. Might as well do it and show it to you now. Right? Okay. Now, we have one more little thing we have to do. Put our little tag in there. We need a little tie up here, a tassel. Now mine, I put some rickrack up there and sewed across it. Let's see what we got in here. I'm going to use this. I don't even think I'm going to put it in the hole. I'm just going to sew it. I'll be right back. Okay, I think we've officially finished. So, we have our little flippy flappy. Like Caroline says, possibilities are endless. You could just glue this on 3 sides and use it as even another pocket if you wanted to. We have the pocket here and we have the back side. I have 2 grungy tags. One is going in my cowboy journal. One is just gonna, this will go in my sample box. I keep a lot of stuff, whoops, in my sample box so I remember what things are and how I did them, so that I can go back and make things again. And guess what? I've never, ever even looked in the sample box. Oh boy. Okay, so there we have it. There are our 2 Caroline inspired flippy tags. Now, let me run through my material real quick, and I'll show you my happy mail from Coralie on my next video, because I want to wait till I get an okay from her to show it. You know, it might be something personal. Okay. So, you know, I went to Createville down in Arkansas, and Rosemary Morris, I will link her down in the basement. She showed us how to do natural dyeing. And I know I have rhubarb here. I know I have cochinella bug. And I know I have some kind of wood, something wood. I have 3 different dyes here. And they were sitting in my refrigerator forever. And I thought, and believe it or not, this is not the rhubarb. Believe it or not, this is the rhubarb. Now, I used a moderant. I used ammonia for these. You can use alum, potash. You can use all kinds of things to make the color change of your dye. Did you know that? Anyway, do a search, because I'm not a professional at it. But I had some ammonia given to me at one of my estate sale cleanouts, and I didn't know what I was going to do with it, and I thought, well, here we go. I'll just throw that in my natural dye. Look how this one turned out. I hung it on it was already dirty. I had wiped paint with it before I dyed it, but I dyed this the purple, and then I hung it up over this on the clothesline. And so this showed pattern through onto my, isn't that weird? Onto this one. Anyway, I thought that was super cool. I've got that one. I've got this lace here. I've got all these little ones that were those cheap polyester laces that I thought, I'm just going to try to dye them anyway, because they always say cotton works best. Well, guess what? This one did not dye, but all of the other ones did. I had some white tablecloths I wanted to put some color and grunge up. This was an old sheet. This is, I don't know what, it's linen, I believe. Anyway, I just wanted to share those with you before I folded them up and put them in the drawer, because I just wanted to use up my dye. So there you have it. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye-bye from Birdie. I just wanted to do a little garden show. My sedum is blooming. It's just a pretty yellow. And my lilies over there are blooming, and oh my gosh, you guys, I know this plant like I know my name. Oh, what is that? Well, anyway, they're my granddaughter's birth flower. She would be very disappointed that I can't remember their name. But look at my lilies. My penstemon is in bloom. I think I've got everything down to where when something finishes, something's starting. So that makes me happy. My parsley has gone to seed. The butterflies will like that. I have one lonely iris left. We'll enjoy the last one. And then these daylilies are ready to just burst.